Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Perry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb. So we're going to start with the upper eye area with the upper brow on the left side. So starting on the outside, we curve towards the center of the face. Then from here, I'm just going to curve this in. So it's angled towards the center of the head. We're going to draw the eyeball. So the ball is basically squashed. It's like an oval tucked in underneath this brow. So starting on the left side, I'm going to come in a little bit, curve around, and then tuck this in underneath on the other side. And right here on the left of center, I'm going to draw the pupil. So let's draw a circle tucked in underneath this brow. So you'll see just the bottom portion of that pupil. And I'll draw a circle on the top right corner for the highlight. Let's go to the center of the face, towards the nose bridge. I'm going to curve down towards the beak. From here, I'm going to do an overlap. Now the beak is quite long, so I'm going to come up to about here. So with a curve, I'm going to do an overlap, curving out. I want to bring this back in, so curling this back in towards a frown. So starting over here, I'm going to curve around the tip of the beak, come up, and then just tuck it back down. Up here, around halfway up the nose bridge, I'm going to curve down the upper part of the beak. Then I'm going to round out and curve out to the outside. And then from here, I'm going to round out the outside of the beak, come around and tuck this in underneath the top part of that beak. From here, I'm going to draw the other eye, so the other brow area. So here I'm just going to curve out, and I'm going to draw the eyeball again. So around the same size as this, but this gets tucked in underneath this bridge. So right about here, I'm going to curve around and tuck this in underneath that brow. Let's draw the pupil on the right side, but around the same size as the one on the left. So up here, I'm just going to tuck this in under that brow area, and draw a circle for the highlight on the top right corner. Now before we get into the body, I'm going to draw the brim of the hat so we can figure out how wide the body is going to be. So right about here, so I'm going to think that the body is going to be about that wide. So I want this top bridge of the hat to sort of extend beyond the body. So right about here, I'm going to curve in just over this eye, and then curve up on the end there. Now from here, I can figure out the width of the body. So I'm going to come down towards the shoulder area. So the body will go right about this long. So right about here, where my fingers are, is where the shoulders will be. So I'm going to come down just to where the arms will start. So right about here, I'm going to do an overlap and curve down. On this side, right by this eye, I'm going to tuck this body, the front part of the body in. So just starting at the top part of that eye, coming down behind that beak, and then coming down to right about here. That looks about right. So we're going to draw the back part of the hat. So right about here, just above this eye, I'm going to draw a curve that goes out and tucks in behind the body. Now from here, I'm just going to come up a bit and draw a curve. And then from this point, I'm going to do an opposite curve to the tip of that hat there. Now from here, I want to go to the front, highest point of the hat. So right about here, I'm going to curve out. Now the back of the hat's right about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and curve down, just breaking that hat sort of in half. From here I'm going to do an overlap and draw a curve going out to the back of the hat. Now from here I'm just going to come down to this point, so the same width as the body. Just tuck that in kind of like that. Now we want to go above this line here and just draw that little band that goes around the brim of the hat, so right about there. Okay, so now we got that. Let's get into the arms. So the arms are going to be on the hips, coming out like this. But I don't actually have to draw anything overlapping here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little gap for the arms. So right here I'm going to leave a gap. I'm going to come down to where the legs would start. So right about here, I'm going to come down, right where the leg is. So now this is where the shoulder socket is. I'm going to take this top point and draw a curve going out to the elbow. I'm going to take this point and just come in, just leaving a little bit of space here for the hands. From this bottom part, I'm going to go in towards the inner part of the elbow, and then this goes right in against the side of the body there. Now to simplify the hand here, all I need to do is come down right to where the knuckles would be and just curl around like that. From here I'm going to draw an overlap, so I'm going to draw one other finger behind there. So it's like an oval, gets tucked in behind. And I'll draw one more finger, like that. Right above this finger here, I'm just going to draw a little hook. That'll be the sort of the back end of this palm. Then from here, I'm just going to tuck this in with a curve behind those fingers. Let's draw the front part of the body. Now this arm actually gets tucked in behind the body, so I don't actually have to stop here. I go all the way down to the same length as the back of the body. So right about here, so I'm going to take this point and just continue on down towards the top of the leg. Now to draw the other side of the arm, I'm going to basically take this and flip it over here. So I want to make sure that the elbows are at the same height. So right about here, start at the height, the same height of the shoulder, come out. Now from here, I'm going to come in, leaving a little bit of space. Again, I'm going to come down to the bottom part of the armpit, go towards the inner part of the elbow, and go right up against the body there. Now from here, I want to actually draw that inner part of the hand first. So coming in like that, and all I have to do for the fingers is start in here, and just curl this around that point. That's basically a simple hand positioned in the opposite way. So now from this point, I'm going to draw the legs bowed out towards the ankles. So right about here, where my fingers are, is where I want to go with the ankles. So taking this point, I'm going to curve out and bow that back in. This side I'll do the same thing, but in the opposite direction. Going out and back in. From these points, I just want to flatten this out. So a little short line going across. Then from here, I'm going to taper out. So I'm going to come in the inner part of the leg with two short curves that go up. Now from here, all I need to do is draw a straight line connecting those 2 points. Now for the feet, I just want to draw these little, sort of like duck feet. So I'm going to round out the heel. I'm going to go straight down at an angle, so coming down in towards the left. From here, I just want 3 web feet. So from this point, I'm going to come in, out, kind of like a zigzag. And then from here, I just draw a straight line right into that ankle. Let's draw the right side, so rounding up the heel. And again, drawing an angled line towards the toes, and drawing a zigzag, so there's 3 points. So you got 1, 2, 3 points. And connecting that ankle to that toe with a straight line. The last part is the tail, so I'm going to draw a big paddle tail. So starting somewhere back here, and go up to a point. So I'm going to draw a straight line coming out from this leg. Then from here, I'm just going to curve the tip of the tail. This is going to sort of taper down, so I'm going to take this point, sort of aiming towards the center of the body there somewhere. And for a little bit of detail, you just want to draw some crosshatch, like almost like a waffle. So in this sort of almost an upward angle, I'm going to draw one line. You can leave gaps on the ends. And draw a second one that's sort of spaced out evenly. And you probably won't see the third one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So I want to almost create a 9-degree angle here. So draw an angle like that. Angled line like this. It'll also continue behind that arm. And probably one more right about here. Kind of like that. And there we have it. There's Perry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb. Be sure to share your drawings with us on Instagram for a chance to win one of our weekly mystery prizes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.